But I gotta say, I'm amazed that they all had 35 large already ready in their pockets,
just on deck in rubber bands.
Be like,
and
oh, here they are. Funny. It's ready.
It would have been funny if one of them was just like, yeah, 35 large, and he pulls like $1 bills out, $35.
What's up, guys? Welcome back. Welcome back, Frank.
Welcome back, Kalani.
This is I want to welcome back all you moviegoers and all you Blockbuster Braddahs and sisters out there. We're back and a little thrown off right now because we did start. We're about 5, maybe 10 minutes in to the episode already, and I realized that I did not press record. So I'm glad my wife isn't here because she'd be throwing stuff at me because she tells me make sure every time. But anyway, we are recording now. I can see the record button. And it's the light saying it's recording. So we're good now. Yeah. But so welcome back. We are here and we're starting. So episode 2, Frank.
Episode 2. We did it.
Yeah.
I feel pretty accomplished that we made it to the second week.
I am.
They always say the first week of a podcast episode is the hardest. So I don't know.
That's what they say. They've been saying that for hundreds of years. The second week is where the money is made. So
yep.
Today's episode is brought to you by the blockbusterbraddahs.com. And this is where you can come and see our show notes and even get some of our merch. Come support the show by going to blockbusterbraddahs.com.
Yeah. Watching us on YouTube, the link's like
right there. Down there.
I think it's
if you're listening, you probably have to go to YouTube or to just type in blockbusterbraddahs.com. And what else we got going on, Frank?
Well, just a little PSA that this is going to be a spoiler episode. Every episode's a spoiler. Yes, so if you haven't seen the movie by now, this movie was made in 2003. Yes. I mean, it's kind of on you. But if you want to pause it right now, go and watch this movie that we're going to talk about, Too Fast and Furious, 2003. Go look it up, watch it, and come back.
Yeah, and although you might have seen it and totally forgot about it on purpose, so I'll give you that one. But yeah, watch it, come back, join us. Also, we have an Instagram now. We started Instagram from the last episode to now. It's at Blockbuster Braddahs and BRADDAHS Braddahs. And yeah, so come check us out. We do some fun stuff.
Yeah, we'll be posting memes and just what to expect this next episode and give you little previews, and maybe we'll go live again.
We can talk story there, hang out there. So come join us, hang out with us. And lastly, before we start, we wanted to start doing something for the parents out there that just in case you want to know if a movie is family friendly or not. We use a website called Kids in Mind. There's also like Common Sense Media. But Kids in Mind gives a score, and it's based on 3 things: sex and nudity, which this movie is a 4, violence and gore, which is a 5, and then language is a 5. And you police your own kids up, but that is the score that Kids in Mind gives.
So this movie is not safe for kids. It's barely safe for adults. Yeah. You'll hear why. Yeah,
you would definitely hear why. So let's get into the show. Let's talk a little bit about it. It was made in 2003. It was. So
it's 2 years after the first one, right?
2 years after.
They made us fans wait. Yeah.
Yes, a whole 2 years. A wonderful 2 years between movies. The running time is 1 hour and 47 minutes. The director is John Singleton. We have Paul Walker returning as Brian O'Connor, joined newly by Tyrese Gibson as Roman Pearce, Eva Mendez as Monica Fuentes, and then Cole Hauser, I think, is Carter Barone. And he's the bad guy, spoiler alert. Okay. That's about the movie. Now there's something that happens in between number 1 and number 2. Frank, you want to talk about that?
Yes. So in investigating these, this story timeline, we talked about it on our live, but in between the movies, there were little prelude videos that we were not aware about. And if you search on YouTube, you can find them. So we found this one that happens between the end of Fast and Furious 1 and Too Fast and Furious, and it's called Turbocharge. And it's a weird video. It's like the length of a music video. And it's like a montage telling you at the end of the first movie, right? We have Brian O'Connor, and he hands the keys to Dom, and he's just like, Dom's like, "You sure you know what you're doing? You want to do this?" Because Brian's essentially going to become a criminal now, right? So the movie ends with that. And this prelude, the weirdest thing about this prelude is that there's absolutely no talking. It looks like there's some dialogue maybe, but it's just a music bed over it.
Pretty much.
So weird.
Yeah.
And I was joking with Kalani that like it really should have been like a Boys to Men, End of the Road kind of music video with like Brian writing a letter to somebody by candlelight and just montage, because that's the way it looked. It looked like it was a music video. It's just him going like state to state, racing people for cash and sleeping in motels. Yeah, and he's always on the verge of like getting caught, but he doesn't, because this one girl that he sees at the diner saves him, and it basically just leads into the next movie. Okay, we get it.
He does pick up his Skyline though, in there.
He does. He wins enough money to pick up a junker Skyline cash. And here's an interesting note that I don't know how true it is, but my friends who were really into the import tuner scene was you couldn't get a Skyline back then in the U.S. This car was a Japan only. I mean, it was a right-hand drive. Yeah, you know. And it was illegal to bring it. You had to bring the car in pieces and assemble it. So the fact that this used car lot was just selling it out of Hollywood. So
highly
he gets
suspect.
a Skyline, highly suspect. He gets a it's every import tuner's dream. He gets this car for cheap cash, and then he gets a job at a garage, and he's able to just like pimp his ride and make this thing like the most powerful thing. So that when he pulls in the movie, the Too Fast and Furious movie, it's just like, oh, we know why, because that music video he was just in. He was able to do that.
Yeah, and he slowly got better over the time, but apparently he was, and we'll get into that, as a kid, he was already skilled. But but then he had to train up again in the first one. Anyway.
It's kind of like every 80s martial arts movie where like there'll be like a martial arts montage in the mountains or something, right? Like he remembers.
We got to do the Karate Kid, man.
We got to do Karate Kid. Because, I don't remember all of Karate Kid. We only remember the crane kick and wax on.
The crane kick, and then when Mr. Miyagi cuts the bottle in half.
Catches the fly with chopsticks, but that's another episode.
That's another. We don't spoil. We were not going to spoil another movie for you tonight. We're going to get right into the movie. And I actually watched the trailer, and there were some parts that got me excited about the movie. I won't get too much into the trailer, but there were some lines that Tyrese, that Roman Pearce had said in the trailer that I was like, oh, this is gonna be good.
I agree. I think Roman has the best one-liners in this movie.
Yeah. Besides Ludacris.
Besides Ludacris, Ludacris has some pretty good lines. I feel like Tyrese kind of stole some scenes.
Yes, of course, absolutely. So I have a trivia question that I wrote down, and maybe we can either one save to the end, and we can decide as we go. Save to the end, or you can go. We can make it so you have to go to our Instagram and let us know your answer.
Let's do that.
Okay.
Yeah.
The trivia question is: what movie was being filmed at the same time on a different side of the same park in Miami during this movie? So this was in 2003 now. And there was a big movie that came out at the same time that was being filmed on the same location. It was like on separate sides of the park in Miami. So that's the question for you.
Can you give me a hint? Is it an action movie?
It is an action movie. Yes. It's an action movie.
I know. I got it.
Okay.
I got it.
All right. You wanna
Sure,
if you wanna message me, then I can confirm. But no, yeah, you want to give your guess, and okay, if he guesses it, then no competition yet.
Who, me? You want me to guess? Yeah, I got it.
Yeah, you want to guess?
Guess.
You got it?
Yeah.
Okay, go.
Yeah. Bad Boys.
Almost.
Bad Boys 2.
Yes.
Yes.
That's a great guess. Good job.
That was really good.
That is why you are my movie watching partner.
That's why Blockbuster.
But you know who got it though?
Who
got it? My 13-year-old niece got it.
Really?
Yeah.
That's a.
I mean, through a total guess, but that's what she watches.
That's
loves Martin
every day
Lawrence
before school, right?
Yep.
It's just you gotta get Bad Boys for life.
Yep, Fortnite, Bad Boys in school. That's what she does. So, but no, I was like, oh, good job. He's like, yeah, I think I heard about it once, but she doesn't really watch Bad Boys. All right.
That's
okay, but that's trivia. So let's get into the movie.
Got it. So, like the first movie that started out in the back of a truck, this movie also starts off in the back of a truck. It takes place in an abandoned town. It looks like, with all these storefronts. Yeah. And it's a total Hollywood set, this thing. And everybody's in the back of this pickup truck in crop tops and miniskirts and getting out and putting road closed signs. So they're setting up a street race, right?
Yeah. It was a lifted truck on hydros.
So I mean, I don't think anybody was watching it and saying like, "Oh, construction workers in Miami really have a different dress code than the Braddahs we got, working on the rail over here, right?" Yeah, but like, so it's just like a fast montage, very music video like too. Like, they're cutting between this pickup truck going around this abandoned town, putting these road closed signs with more crop tops, girls leaning on cars, looking in hoods, turning up sound systems and stuff. But I don't know if you caught it, but I had to rewatch this scene 3 times. And at minute 1, where's my notes here? It says minute 108. 108. It shows like a top-down view of the girls and the guys getting out of the back of the truck with the road closed sign. And I kid you not, Kalani. Kid you not. Go back right after we filmed this.
Okay.
108.
Yeah.
There is a loud fart sound.
No way.
Comes from somebody that's jumping out of the truck. Kid you not. I was just like, is that part of it? Because it's blasting Ludacris.
Oh gosh.
It's blasting Ludacris music during this scene.
Yeah.
But I kid you not, it's not on beat. So it's not part of the song.
Yeah.
108. If
and
you
the
take
song,
anything away from this episode, 108.
108. 108. You guys got to check it out. Yeah.
It's
I think
funny
there's going to be
because there's a girl jumping out of the truck and the fart sound happens.
Nice.
Like,
nice.
That girl.
Nice. That was her.
She ripped one because she thought the Ludacris music was so loud that nobody would hear it.
Like, no one's going to hear it.
I heard it. I heard it 17 years after she farted. And I'm talking about it on the internet. All right. So, yeah.
Immortal. Immortalized right there.
Yeah. So it's they have this montage going, and they kind of just foreshadow that this is not your grandma's Fast and Furious. This is happening in Miami. This is different. It's not your West Coast.
Whole new level.
This is not your West Coast Fast and Furious, because it cuts to this garage that looks like Exhibit in Pimp My Ride uses it for his show, but it's all bright colors, and there's this silhouette with this huge afro, and he's on the phone, and he's just like, what is he talking? He's talking about setting up the race, right?
Yep.
Yeah. And we know that now. That's Ludacris.
Yes, and this is like my favorite, like in the movie. Like I had laughed so hard at Ludacris's his lines that he had, his quotes. This, like, so he's on the phone with this dude Jimmy, right? Like Jimmy's the man that makes things happen, and his first one is like it's it's gonna be an all-timer tonight, right? And then he goes right in to be like, all right, fire them up, we go live in 5. And then right after that, it's time for ignition and straight automobile pimping.
Yeah, dude, it's
it's
just all these one-liners that he's pulling out. And it's just like, oh, ludicrous. Luda, you're pulling them out too fast. Like, you gotta save some of these one-liners. Like the kids, they can't write them down fast enough to use them on the at school. You know, light them up.
The street racing scene.
And the time frames that he gives too for these things. Like first he says that the race is going to start in 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And you see these 3 cars pull up, right? And we don't get to hear the names of these characters, but you've got a girl in a pink car, you've got a guy in an orange car, and you've got another guy in a red car.
Yeah.
And the thing I appreciate about this, because in the first movie you were saying, hey, did you notice all the cars are primary colors? But the thing I appreciate about this movie is the drivers of the cars color coordinate their clothes for their car.
Yeah.
So the girl in the pink was wearing pink, and the orange. Yeah, dude, it's so funny.
So Slapjack, he had the Supra.
We never hear any.
We don't hear his name,
except for the
but
girl,
his name is Slapjack, and he's in a Supra. Yeah. And so these, I think.
Can I say the other guy's name?
Yes.
The other guy's name is Orange Julius.
Orange Julius, yeah.
Right?
And this guy where is he from? Could you tell where he was from?
He was speaking Spanish. I'm not even gonna make an attempt.
I think he was speaking Spanish, so he was Hawaiian. I'm gonna say that. But he had an RX-7. And that was actually one of the stunt RX-7s from the first movie that they repainted.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah. Doubled as Dom's car.
John Singleton. Nice.
Yeah. And then Suki was the girl, and she was in an S2000, which was also in the first movie.
Was that Johnny Tran's? I forgot his name.
No, but I think the Supra was Brian's.
They just repainted the Supra too. Nice.
Yep, pretty sure. Yeah.
Very economical of them. Yeah. So they all pull up, and they're missing a fourth racer, right?
They need one
because they need one more, otherwise they're not going to do it. Because Tej is a man of principle, so
yeah, he likes even.
It's impossible for them to race 3 people when they're racing for money. So they need a fourth, and they all begrudgingly agree, right? Tej says, "If I can come up with a fourth, then."
And he wasn't trying to hustle them at all. You couldn't tell that he was trying to hustle them at all.
Right. Yeah. So he walks away on his flip phone, and he gives our hero Brian a call.
Mm-hmm.
Brian's been on the road, right? As we know from the turbocharged music video.
He's been on the road,
and he was just like, Brian, we got a race in 4. You better be here in 4 minutes. Can't even get to your car in 4 minutes. What are you talking about? And he's just like, yeah, all right, I'll be there. Yeah. So it cuts to this full-on John Wick driving scene, which I thought was funny because they already have fast cars in this movie, but they actually fast-forwarded the video of when he was driving to make it look faster.
Yeah.
And I just thought that was really funny, man. Like, because I bet you Ludacris just ad-libbed that 4-minute thing, and the director was like, "Oh yeah, catch it till later." And he told the editors, "Well, we got to speed up the film now. We only have 4 minutes to get him there."
Driving regular fast isn't going to make it. He's got to drive fast forward fast.
We're going to need to fast forward that NOS. Yeah. So he gets there in 4 minutes, right? Yeah. And I mean, he lives at Tej's garage. And didn't we see Tej's garage in the beginning when the shadow afro figure of Luda was there? And didn't he just walk out of his garage?
That's true.
Where was Brian coming from?
Yeah. He took the long way.
You know what? I believe now that he could have gotten there in 4 minutes. It was just I think that was just extra footage from Turbocharge.
I think so. They're like, we need to use this. And by the way, our co-host is here.
Oh.
Yeah, she is going to be coming in and out again, so she might join us.
Blockbuster sister. Yep.
The Blockbuster sister. Yeah. But yeah, and that brings us to the next exciting scene to me, which is when they're about to start racing, and you see people showing off their sounds. Of course, they're partying hard, and you got break dancing.
The boombox battle. Yeah.
Yep. And then
your standard street race stuff, right?
That you have to have if you're going to street race. Just like for racers, you need break dancers there. But my favorite line that Suki gives is the Japanese girl huddle. That was like, oh my goodness. She's got to be.
She does have a squad. Yeah.
Yes. She comes up with a squad, and they all put their fists in, and they say, all right, girls, let's do this. I thought that was amazing. I was rolling when I was like, she is the best actress in this movie by far.
Oh man, I gotta say, the acting that's coming from Suki in this first part of the movie
is amazing.
It is something else. It is something else. She could be a great actress. I don't know. I think it's the lines that we're giving her.
I think, you know what? I think they're like, here, do this. She's like, oh, man, I don't want to do this. All right, girls.
And basically, every line that Suki has in the first part of this movie are one-liners. And they're just exclamations.
She did get better later on. Yeah.
She did. She got better because she's a human and she had regular human lines.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. She was turbocharged in this scene.
Yeah. So I got to say, they start the race. Brian shows up within the 4-minute window, right? So they're going to start the race, and
he comes skidding into
like smoke machines, right? He has like smoke blowing from his front bumpers. That was pretty cool. I thought that was.
I remember that back in the day, like people would do that. Not a lot of people because that was expensive, but pretty sure.
But I think out of all of the cars in this first race, that Skyline was pretty cherry. I liked it. It was dope. Really nice. I would drive it. If I could fit in it, Skyline. I would drive it. If I could fit in it.
Yeah.
I think I could fit in a couple cars in this movie, and we'll talk about those later. I like those cars.
Yeah, I like those cars too.
Yeah.
The ones that you can fit in.
Yep. So okay. Before they start the race, I'm not in the game, so they're just like, "What do you say? 35 large?" So they're betting for money. And, I'm ignorant to this, so I've never bet 35 large. So, Kalani, what are we talking? 35,000? 3,500?
That's exactly what I thought. I was like, 35,000. That's a lot of money.
350 or $35. Are they just calling $35 35 large and 35 small?
If it was me racing, it would be $35 large.
I know. 35 large would be $35 for me. 35 small would be 35 cents for me, right?
Yes, exactly.
So they all speak this language.
But I gotta say, I'm amazed that they all had 35 large already ready in their pockets,
just on deck in rubber bands.
Be like,
and
here they are. Funny. It's ready.
It would have been funny if one of them was just like, yeah, 35 large, and he pulls like $1 bills out, $35. And Paige is just like, get out of here.
That'd be Orange Julius. No.
Yeah, that was Orange Julius.
Actually, Slapjack, because he is racing for his rent. I mean, I don't think that's a good idea, Slapjack.
His girl was all just like, you're going to win? Girl. And he's just like, yeah, so you better win.
Yeah. You better win.
So at least we know now that Slapjack is financially irresponsible. And so is this woman, because she allows him to bet the rent, right?
Yeah, to bet the rent. Yeah.
So
irresponsible.
So Brian shows up.
Slapjack.
Brian shows up and he's just like, 35 large? Why don't we kick it up a nickel? And okay, so I went from like, all right, so 35 kick it up a nickel. So okay, so if 35 large is is $35, 35 small. Okay, so a nickel is a nickel then. So 35.05? Or are we talking about 350.50? Or are we talking about 3,550? Dude, so anyway, it must have been a lot because everyone's like, kick it up a nickel.
Wow.
And yeah, I think it's
too steep for me.
Orange Julius. It's too steep for Orange Julius. But then Tej is just like, you can just back your car out if you don't have 5 cents to throw into this. So yeah, he agrees. I still don't know how much, but it's a lot of money.
Yeah, he hands it over.
And he hands it over. He also has that on deck because I don't know what the rubber band situation is in these guys' pockets. If they just have them in 35 large increments.
That's all they do. Yeah.
You know what would have been funny is if, because the first movie, the currency was not money; it was TV VCR combos.
Right.
If he was just like 35 large, he was like, "Hold on," and he like backs up a truck, and he's just like, "One TV."
Weren't they worth for $34?
One DVD player. Well, it's 2003 inflation, right? So like,
right,
these VCR combos are probably worth
a nickel.
It was $6 million. For those of you who didn't see the first movie, the big currency and the crime that was happening was TV VCR combos, valued at $6 million plus. Let that sink in for a second. It was one truckload that was worth $6 million that I Googled in 2020 money, and it's worth $3,400. So if you're investing in video technology, don't. It's not going to be worth a lot in 2040. I'll tell you right now. Okay, so
don't do it.
35
so they start the race. Oh, before they start the race, he catches eyes with Wahine with some girl on the side.
Bro, okay, so this is a look right here.
Yeah, that's it. And Brian does his big ass stare,
and it's way too long. And Brian just like his mouth breathing, and she's just and it just cut back to her, and she's just like
just staring. It's just
it's like she's frozen, and everybody else is like yeah. And I mean, like it's such a weird. Who directed her to do that? Like, I have a follow-up comment after we reveal who she is. But nobody stands like that. Nobody stands like that.
Nobody stands like that.
If you're standing like that, stop it.
Stop it right now.
If you're trying to like impress somebody, they're not gonna be impressed.
That is not the way.
So yeah, she's
Unless
standing
the other
there.
guy likes to stare like this.
Yeah. It's Eva Mendez. Eva Mendez
shows up.
I mean,
we don't know who she is yet, though. She's just some random girl in the audience.
Well, I mean, as a viewer, I saw her and I was just like, "Well, it's Eva Mendez."
Oh yeah,
I mean,
she's got to be somebody.
She's not blending in with anybody. If it was
that's probably what Paul Walker thought. He's like, "Hey, Eva Mendez is here. What's she doing here?"
Why is she so creepy? Why are you so creepy, Eva Mendez? Like, that would have been funny if she just played herself and just like. We're filming a movie here, Eva Mendez. Like, if she was blending in with other like Salma Hayek's and like Catherine Zeta-Jones or whatever, then you'd be like, oh, she's But it's just a bunch of extras and Eva Mendez with like a foot spacing, just so you can see her. Just like
they probably told the extras, nobody touch Eva Mendez. You guys move out of the way.
What they should have done was they should have had a bunch of extras in front of her and like just like a little sliver of her, like
just her eye. No, just her hand, how she was standing.
Yeah, just like this. I don't have 3 hands, so like just imagine there's another hand right here, and it's just like that. Then it would have been like then Paul Walker would be like, "Dang, that girl looks like Eva Mendez." Is that Eva Mendez? And he looks back, she's gone. She's just gone, right? I could have directed
that was Eva Mendez. Hey guys,
right? Yeah, like he's seeing Eva Mendez everywhere, like The Sixth Sense.
Yeah,
like he gets in the car to race, and he adjusts his mirror, and it's just like
So
Oh man.
And so they get in the cars. Everybody gives them each other. They all look at Brian because he's the new Dom in Miami.
Dude.
He's like
He
when he
is.
first
He is
shows
the new
up,
Dom.
like Suki's like, oh man, Brian. She's already given up. She's defeated already, and because he's the new man in town.
He is, man.
So
he set up a bodega called O'Connor's that just serves tuna sandwiches. No
tuna sandwiches.
No crust.
Tuna sandwiches straight from Miami Beach. So they start the race, and the cars are flying it down. And I didn't remember that this is no longer just a quarter-mile race.
This race is a video game level. That's what's happening.
Gran Turismo.
There is zero other humans that exist in this town anymore. It's a full city that they're racing through. But I mean, like, it is basically, it's like Need for Speed. You're playing Need for Speed, the video game.
It is. And
go ahead.
No, that's it. You're saying it's a ghost town, but they actually drive by what is it? The place where the Miami Heat play. So the stadium.
Maybe everybody was watching the Heat.
Oh, they're inside. That's right. That makes sense.
Everybody was in there. So if we have a scale of like muffler flame from the first one, we are like a critical level of muffler flame.
They're redlining. They're redlining.
Good. That's good verbiage. Good job.
Yes. I speak the language now.
Suki's got like pink flame, orange Julius. I'm just gonna call him OJ now. OJ has
there you go.
Orange flame. No, red flame.
Yeah.
Slapjack has orange flame, and Brian has blue flame. So it's just, these are like flamethrower flames flying out the back, and they're racing through the city, and it basically comes down to like Slapjack and Brian first, right?
Yeah,
they're neck and neck, and it was funny because Slapjack he shot his nos early on, and I was just like, if Dom were here, he'd say, too soon, Junior. Too soon, Junior.
But that was Johnny Tran. Johnny Tran said that.
Oh, Johnny Tran at Race Wars. That's right.
Yep, at Race Wars.
Yeah.
If you haven't seen that or listened to our other episode, go ahead and do that.
Yeah, stop watching this one because you're not going to understand any of it. And then go watch the other one. So Brian and Slapjack are racing. Yep, come back. Brian and Slapjack are racing, and it's neck and neck, and they keep overtaking each other, and it gets kind of nuts. And what happened? Suki and OJ them are in the back.
Yeah, they're going at it. Suki saying her one-liners that were.
I'm not going to repeat them.
I'm not going to repeat them. Orange Julius had a one-liner that was. Yeah,
Suki saying it.
Yeah,
but so basically the whole race boils down to the finale of this race. The finale of the race is a bridge, right? That's right before the finish line. And Tej is telling everybody, "I got something special for you guys."
Got something special.
So Tej has his goons break into the control tower of the bridge and start to raise the bridge. And so for those of you
it's a great idea
who are watching here, the bridge is like this. And they were planning to race across it. The bridge starts going like levels. This. There's water, not a beard, in between it. And it's about here when Slapjack kind of realizes that it's going up.
Yeah.
And Slapjack decides to go all in, man. He got to pay that rent. He shoots his nos like right away. He's so far away from the bridge, and he shoots his nos. And I'm just like, this guy's gonna run out of nos by the time he hits that bridge. But he's going in. Brian's waiting to the last second. Yeah, too soon, Junior. Brian waits till he gets to the base of the bridge, and homeboy fires off both nos canisters. One time. Well, what happens?
He flies it over. Well, they both fly off, right, the bridge, and they catch air, like mean air. And Brian shoots over Slapjack and lands over him. Slapjack slides into the side of the road and crashes. And then Brian makes the jump and slides right into the finish line, winning the first race in his.
And Suki comes after. She does her yell, and Orange Julius is just like the only sane one.
The only one, yes. He's like the only smart one.
The guy named Orange Julius is the only smart one in this scene. Did you hear what I just said? I know. So he pulls off. He's just like, I'm not crazy. I didn't choose my name Orange Julius. My mom gave me that name. My mom probably would have shot Nos and gone over this stuff, but I'm not. I'm Orange Julius. So also the impact of landing this jump, everybody should be dead.
Yes. It is. It's a good fall. It is.
Dude, it's a free fall in a car. You know what I mean? Like a free fall, not in a car.
Me and my wife are both like, "Are you serious? Like you're gonna kill them, dude? Is this you're excited about this?" Like,
it would have been funny after landing the landing and just rubble, and then the credits roll.
Yeah. but not only did they not get killed, the skyline was fine. After it exploded when it hit.
The plastic bumper survived like a champ. Only Suki's bumper fell off, and that's all that happened. Her plastic front bumper fell off. I don't know if she had a hood, but her hood was gone too. So Brian wins. Tej proceeds to harass Suki. At first, I was just like, "You don't know her," but apparently they're together. So I guess whatever.
But Tej is very proud of Brian for not dying on his bridge jump. If I was Brian, I'd be like, "Dude, you know that could have killed me." Is that your idea of fun?
Brian was Tej's dog in the race, so why would you jeopardize your dog in the race? Yeah. He's giving you part of the winnings. Just make it easy for him to win. You know he's going to win. Why are you going to make him jump over a bridge? So that happens.
Yeah. And then he tries to talk to. The race is over. He tries to talk to Monica. We find out her name later.
Dude, okay.
Eva Mendez.
Let me show you what the scene looks like. She's still standing.
She's still
when he comes up
with
to
her hand bent. Yeah.
And then what does she do? He's like talking to her, and she goes like this. And she with the hand still up, dude.
Yeah. But she says, "It's time to go." And he's like, "What do you mean?" And then, the cops are coming.
Yeah.
Which is the same scene as the first one.
So, you can see now that Brian O'Connor runs his operation a little different than Dominic Toretto, right? Yeah. I mean, Dom had a better plan. He had what's his name? Not Vince. What's the other guy's name?
It was Leon.
Right? Leon on a walkie-talkie yelling, "Cops, cops, 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 cops," right? He's blocking the pizza guy. Yeah, there's none of that going on over here. They're depending on crop top, pickup truck, road closed sign people. That's all they got going. But
they were busy farting, so they were not.
108.
108.
Go. Just pause it right now. The pause button on YouTube.
And go and watch it.
Just pause it.
I'm gonna do that.
Just open a new tab. Open a new tab and search for beginning of Too Fast and Furious. It's the first minute.
Worth it.
You'll worth
it. Go and do it.
It's worth it. Put on headphones. You need to hear it in stereo. Yeah. So Eva Mendez clairvoyantly predicts that the cops are going to come.
Yep. And so the cops come and they start to scatter. And
so the cops show up in this one they're in Chevy Caprices. They've upgraded from Crown Victorias in the first movie. And it turns out Caprices aren't that fast and easy to maneuver either. So a bunch of them crash into things.
Yes. And, in fact,
they get away.
We meet one of them later. Officer Agent Dunn is we will talk about later. But in a later scene.
We'll talk about Agent Dunn. Yeah.
But but he crashes. But the best part about this scene is the magical electrical deactivation gun that they have.
Okay, so this gun, when I saw it, I had to pause the movie, and I was just like, "That's a Terminator gun."
That's a Terminator gun.
This is a straight up Skynet Terminator gun. It's. If you ever played that game Doom growing up, it's a gun from Doom. It's a Doom gun.
You get a Doom gun.
It's got green lights on it. It's huge. This thing is like, it's a laser gun, but it shoots a harpoon.
Yeah. Which the harpoon gun is back from the first one.
The harpoon gun is back.
On steroids.
Interesting note, they recycled the harpoon guns from the first one.
Oh, did they?
And they put in a Terminator guns.
Yep.
I believe in it. I'm calling it. Yeah. I bet you if you look it up later, same harpoon guns.
Yeah.
So these are
electromagnetic. I don't know. So basically, they shoot the car, and somehow magically, unicorns come shooting out, and they enter the electronic system, and they shut down everything in the car.
It is. It's an EMP. It's an electromagnetic pulse, right?
Yeah.
Same thing that they have in the Matrix to kill to disable all the bots. So it cuts all electrical equipment. But I like to think that it's just powered by radiant lightning. Like it was pretty cool. I mean, yeah.
So interesting though, those do not exist in real life. I looked it up. I wanted one. That's why.
You looked for one of those things. Yeah. So portable EMP, handheld EMPs. Yeah, 2003. We had them in the back of every Chevy Caprice. Yeah. So
in Miami though.
Disables his car in Miami. Disables his car. I think they stole it from the Bad Boys 2 set.
They probably did. They're like, hey.
Scrap that silver suitcase. We'll use whatever's in it in the movie. So they catch him. It's basically a rehash of his capture scene in the first movie. Yeah, and what happens next?
They go to the interrogation room where the cops know that and Brian is who he is, but he denies it until Agent Bilkins comes in.
Agent Bilkins. And for those of you following along from the first movie, Agent Bilkins was the FBI agent that was very concerned about the truckers.
Yes.
Taking matters into their own hands. but I'm gonna pause that, dialing it back to when the scene starts at the interrogation room. Dude, the camera pans from outside the interrogation room, and you can only see half the table, and like Brian is sitting there, and I was just like, oh man, I hope the lights cut out and cut back on, and Christian Bale as Batman's like behind him. And like, where's Rachel? Like it was.
Wrong interrogation room, Batman.
You made me want to watch. You made me want to watch The Dark Knight.
Okay, wait. What, since you said that, let us know in the comments if you'd like us to do every version of the Batman for one season. I just want to throw that out there.
Man. As long as as long as we start with 1989 Keaton Batman, I'm okay. Yeah. I'm willing to glaze over my eyes through the Clooney's and the Kilmers. Oh wow! Way to volunteer. You know what? That is going to be one of our seasons. That is definitely going to be.
Has to be. Yeah, The Dark Knight.
Oh, I don't know if I can watch those. Oh man. Okay. Yeah. So I blame myself.
You brought it up.
I did. So.
Yeah, but that would have been a cool cut, and would have made the movie 1,000 times better if Batman showed up. But
if you're watching Too Fast and Furious and you get to that scene, pause that and then go on YouTube and search for the interrogation scene from The Dark Knight. Watch that, and then come back to Too Fast and Furious. Yes. You'll have you'll be in a better place. I think. Back to Bilkins.
Yes, Bilkins comes in, and apparently he likes. In the first one, he didn't really like Brian, but now he's friends with Brian because he's like, I know a dude.
I don't know. Yeah, now. Brian. He became like a Brian fan. I don't know what happened. But he's Brian's protector in this one because there's a new a-hole in town. I didn't get this guy's name, but he's the customs.
I wrote it down later on in my notes, but he's also an agent. These guys are customs. So they take him into the briefing room. It's the normal briefing room, and they show him the bad guy, and that's Carter Verone. They talk about Carter Verone, and he's an Argentina import-export drug lord or something involved with the cartel. So he's a bad dude. But
so more on Carter Verone. Like, so the big issue that they're having is that they found the drugs, but they can't pin him to the money that he's been paying for the drugs. So that's where they need some superhero drivers. They need Brian O'Connor, you know. But while his customs agent is giving the whole rundown on Carter Verone on the big screen behind him, there's this dude, Agent Dunn. Agent Dunn looks like he was dressed by his mom. In every shot that this guy is in, he's wearing Dockers or Bugle Boy khaki slacks that are just way too long for him. Like, he's wearing size 36, 34 length. It's way too long. It is
amazing.
He looks like it's his first day of school. It looks like it's his first day of school. And he's standing there, and they're saying, we need a couple drivers. So that's why you, Brian O'Connor, and Agent Dunn are going to be partners. And you're going to go undercover as drivers for Verone. And Agent Dunn is drinking this, like, super big gulp sized drink. And Brian's just, like, not having it. He's like, bro, this ain't going to work unless I have my own team, my own drivers. I'm just like, okay, take it easy. Yeah. And he's just like, all right, we're going to be partners, right? Done. How about you answer me this? What is he asking for?
He's like, what would be a better engine to drop into my Skyline? A Gallows 12 or a Gallows 24? And this dude, the drink that he has is from a place called Gallows Pizza. And he's got this goofy look in his face, looks at his captain, and the captain's like, answer him. Like, 24? He's like, 24. I didn't know pizza places made engines.
I wanted him to just be like, you almost had me. You never had me.
You never had your cup.
You never had your cup. Done. Dang, man. I'll get back in the dressing room and try on pants that fit.
Yeah, and this is the dude that crashed his car trying to chase him, and now they want him to be his driving partner.
Did his boss not just see the damage that he did to the Caprice? I know, right? So
maybe he's gonna give him a lightning gun. Help him out.
Maybe. Yeah. So Brian's just like, listen, if I'm gonna do this, it's like he's like, why would I want to do this for you? And you're just like, we'll wipe your slate clean. One last job. I was like, okay, all right. Yeah. Well, if I do this, then I got to bring in my own guy.
Yep.
And who's that guy?
Roman Pearce, which is played by Tyrese Gibson. And so they cut. So he says, yeah, I need Roman Pearce. It's my boy from Barstow. So they go to Barstow. So they're in Miami. Barstow's in California. So I guess they flew back to California. This place is in the middle of the desert. They're at this racetrack in the desert, and this dude is doing destruction derby. And so they cut to him, and some cars flying at them, and they push another car into the stands, and they like jump back, and this is his dude. This is Roman Pearce.
Yeah, so we got Bilkins and Brian sitting in the stands watching this mayhem, and Roman wins, and he climbs out of his car in the middle of the dirt arena, and it's like Gladiator. He's just like, "Are you not entertained?" And then, so he's all happy that he just won, right?
Yeah.
I don't know if he won. I think he won 35 small for this one, but he looks up in the stands and he sees Brian, and he just like
his face changes.
He's so pissed off, and he just walks out. Bad. And it's funny because the way he walks in this first part of the movie, I'm just like, oh, maybe he's injured. No, he's not injured.
It's just
this is Tyrese's acting.
Yeah.
Because Tyrese, as we find out, has an ankle bracelet. And he acts like this ankle bracelet
is 200 pounds.
Because it's 200 pounds. The way he walks, it's just like, it's like, bro,
the old ball and chain.
You were literally in a destruction derby. I mean, your bones are adamantium for all I know, because you came out unscratched, but you're walking like this thing is like the bane of your down. Yeah,
it's really a mental thing. It's a mental block.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Brian approaches Roman, right?
Well, before that, in the stands, we find out some important things about Roman.
Right.
That he's skilled and he's crazy. So he's got those two things, and he has a long record. He was in jail upstate for 3 years. Yes,
longer than Dominic Toretto.
Longer than Dominic.
3 years.
So not just 2, 3 years upstate.
Oh man.
But yeah, so he's on house arrest. But yeah, so Brian calls him. He's like, "What's up, Rome?" What does Tyrese say? I love.
I didn't get what he said. What did he say?
Only my homeboys call me Rome.
Yeah. Yep.
He's like, only.
Yep.
That was Roman Pearce. Yeah.
And it's basically a back and forth between him and Brian, just like going at it, just like, I thought you were my friend. He's like, I am your friend. And it was just back and forth.
Oh, he calls him a pig. He's like,
because he's a cop, right?
Yeah, he's like, only my homeboys call me Rome. Pig. And apparently it was Brian's fault that he went to prison.
Tyrese is acting like he steals the scenes from Paul Walker, because Paul Walker is such a bad actor. Yeah. And Tyrese's acting is just like, he's not acting. It's just, it's so good. His delivery of these lines, like, I feel like he actually hates Paul Walker in real life the way he was talking to him. It's really good. Yeah. So they get into a fight, right?
He probably does.
And Brian like rear naked chokes him.
Yeah. You see in the first fight, how I said, if he knew some basic jujitsu, he would have finished this dude real fast. He finishes Rome the same way that he could have finished the other guy in the first movie.
But he wasn't undercover.
But he was.
So that's why he could just bust it out.
Yep. Yeah. And he's even taunting him, saying, "You still can't fight. You still can't fight."
Dude, the funniest part of that fight, when they're rolling around, I forgot to get the timestamp, but like Rome is like on top of Brian, like beating him, and you see Paul Walker's hand come up to like Roman's neck. He's just like, and Paul Walker is like, "I'm gonna choke you. I'm gonna choke you." And it was so funny, like he was calling it out, like, "I'm gonna choke you," and then he choked him out. It was so good. It was so good.
Yeah, that was So
the whole time, Bilkins is eating peanuts, like watching this whole thing. Yeah,
he's like, "Here we go,
good stuff." Yeah.
Oh yeah. So they fight. I guess Brian kind of wins because he has basic jiu-jitsu skills. But anyway, they recruit Tyrese for the job.
So they basically have the same conversation that the customs agent just told him. They're just like, "We'll clear your slate.
Yep.
One last job.
Yep.
We need you to drive. This guy here, you're going to be his partner." Yeah, it's exactly the same thing.
Yeah, and then he gets into his, they're like, "Oh, you're not supposed to be racing or whatever." And he's like, "That's why I park so close to the race." And he's like in a mobile home.
He's on house arrest. So he parks his mobile home close to the derby.
The purpose of a bracelet that's like
GPS.
GPS.
Homeboy is driving all over California in this mobile home. Yeah,
like, this is my home, so that means I can go anywhere I want.
There's no logic, Kalani. This is a Fast and Furious.
This is and that's the fact that's holding me up in this movie. But okay, so they, I guess he kind of agrees. He's still hesitant, but he goes. They're at the U.S. Customs office or something. I guess back in Miami. They finally overcome Rome's hesitation because he's like, "I'm not going back to Barstow."
Yeah, it's
you want to do it? Go back to Barstow.
Paul Walker has a funny line. You're just like, "Quit playing like you ain't taking this." You know you're playing. You know you're taking this job. Right. So they cut to an airplane hangar. Right, they're back in Miami, and like you got private jets in this hangar. You've got helicopters. Now we're starting to get into the James Bond stuff, right?
Yeah.
and then they unveil these two cars. Like, what are we gonna be driving?
Mm-hmm.
But before that,
there's an Orbis Express truck that comes in.
She just walks in. And she walks out of this truck.
The truck
carrying a TV VCR combo, and she's just like,
yeah. She's like, anybody want to spend $34? 34 large.
35 large.
35 large.
34 large.
In a nickel.
Somebody's packing some of that money. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So she comes out and they introduce her, and Paul Walker's just like, oh, okay, makes sense.
Yeah.
Like
she's the one. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
They had said the cops said earlier that they had somebody in. They didn't say who, but now he knows.
She had been in for 11 and a half months. Yeah. Yeah. So she's been deep undercover, living at Carter Verone's mansion for 11 and a half months. Right. Yep.
I feel like Brian when they rode up the gate and you see her, I feel like Brian should have been like, "Hi," just like a corny, "Hi."
Hey.
The way he was looking at her, I was just, what?
Yeah.
Maybe she just busted out. With,
Paul Walker was just,
hey.
Yeah. Right.
So she comes out like a boss too. She's like no mess around. Just like, hey, this is what we're gonna do. Da 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 da.
She's all business. Yeah, she's all business. Right?
Yeah. So they unveil the cars, right?
Yeah. We've got a Lancer Evo, the yellow one.
Yep.
And a Eclipse convertible.
Spider. It's a Spider.
Spider.
Yep.
Nice.
And the license plate. Remember what the license plate said? A trivia.
Spider.
It sped. It sped. It sped away, and then it said "hater" with an 8. Hater. Hater. That was the license plate. I like that. But that's a
real MySpace way of spelling something.
Yep, it is. It is text. No. Pager.
Yeah, exactly right. So they go out and they open it up, and Monica rides with Brian, and Tyrese just like, how come you get to ride with him? He's like, you got to pick the convertible.
Yep.
So they take off.
What amazing lines. Yeah.
Yeah. They take off, and there's some serious flirt action going on between Brian and Monica in the car, and he pulls a stunt because he's talking with her. He's like, "Doing okay?" She's like, "Yeah, I'm fine. Keep your eyes on the road." And he does this thing where he's just like,
just staring sideways right at her, not looking at the road.
He drives 120 miles an hour on the freeway, staring at her. Actually, it's not the freeway.
No, it's like a
highway,
side road.
It's a side road, and then he's able to stop on a dime or 10 small, dime small,
10 small
at the traffic light. And Roman pulls up, and he's just like,
he lured it to a dime.
Yeah. And he was just like, he did that staring thing, didn't he? And he learned that from me. Yeah.
Yeah. And the way, like you said, the way Tyrese delivers his lines, it's like, man, you got this character down.
Yeah.
The stare, he called it, he dropped the stare and drive on you, didn't he? He learned that from me.
Yep.
So they're on their way. So now they go to Carter's house, right? To Verone's house, right? Because they picked up Monica Fuentes, the undercover cop, and she's taking them to the bad guy's house. And when they get there, I call them the muscle men. It's all the dudes in muscle cars, and they pull up and you see, I think there's like 2 Vipers. There's a Mustang, a BMW, I think it's a Series 8. Yep, the Camaro, and a Challenger, right? It's a Challenger.
Yeah. I got excited when I saw this lineup of cars because I like the Camaro and the Challenger, and I'm glad that they were featured more later on. But man, that was
So with the Vipers actually were they hadn't come out yet. Those Vipers were for the next year, and they actually had to borrow those with a contract saying that they weren't gonna like scratch them or anything.
That's probably why they were only in like those first couple scenes, because we never saw them racing ever again, right?
No.
Yeah.
So
wow, crazy.
Yeah. So they have all those cars, pretty dope, and then so they get out of the car. Brian and Rome get out of the car, and the head muscle guys like, where'd you get those, from the bottom of a cereal box?
Yeah. Cracker Jack box. I think
Cracker Jack box.
Yeah.
And then again, Tyrese, you remember Rome's line? You remember what he says?
He said, "Hey, Fonz."
Yeah. He's like, "Hey, Fonz."
Yeah.
He's like, with the thumbs up. So they, you see that from right there, they're at edge at each other, and then they cut to the house, right? And they have this painting, right? Now this is high tech. We're getting into high tech world now. There's a painting that
I remember the painting.
And then it turns into a surveillance television with all the with all the video cameras, which then you see Carter Verone for the first time. Yep. And within 3 seconds, you see how much of a sleaze he is, because Monica walks by and he slaps her on the backside as she walks out the door. And I was like, you're going to be like, what a sleaze bucket. So then they go out and they meet the crew, and he tells them a few things. I don't really remember what he says, though. Pretty much gives him the job, right? He's like,
he basically tells them like, the police have impounded my Ferrari, and they have it down in Little Haiti, which is super far away,
20 miles away or something.
I don't care about the car, but I care about the glove box, the contents of the glove box. So the first driver that can return to me the contents of the glove box gets the job. And then Man Bun, who drives the Challenger, says, "What is this, like an audition?" Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
Yes, that's why you're here, right? Didn't you get the memo?
Thank you for joining this illegal audition. We emailed you this, or we put this on your pager earlier.
Yeah, we paid it.
So they take everybody's driver's license, and then they send them off on this challenge.
They all start running.
And everybody digs out. Yep.
It's Cannonball Run all over again.
Yeah, totally. So they all start digging out. They're all racing each other to get out there. And it's funny, this next scene, they cuts to the customs agent, and he gets a phone call from like this operator. She's just like, "Oh, it looks like they're on the move." And the customs agent thinks that they're running. So he's just like, "They're running. I'm not surprised." So he loads up with Agent Dunn to go intercept Brian and Rome, and they head out. And okay, so remember the truckers from the first movie?
But before we
the West Coast truckers are different from the Miami truckers.
Yes. Before we get there,
about that in a minute.
So they start off on the freeway. They're all ripping it down, and you have Brian and Rome in the front of the pack, and everybody's chasing him, trying to pass him or whatever, right? And so Rome passes them, does like a thing, goes past them, and he's like, Brian said this line, "Oh yeah, you think you're the bomb, Rome?"
I remember that. I was just like, "Did you just say the bomb?"
It's like, "Oh, so you think you're the bomb, Rome?"
Rome did.
And yes, Rome did think he was the bomb, and he was.
So Brian decides that at this point in time, during this very challenging situation, that they have to make sure that they win. He decides to flip into reverse and drive backwards in front of Rome to flick him off, as he drives full speed in between traffic in reverse, just to prove a point. Not like he has 20 miles to get to Little Haiti before everybody else. So there's that.
So then you were talking about the trucks. You were talking about the trucks.
Drive. You see these two big container trucks side by side with an open lane in between. Well, you got to drive in between them. So Brian and Rome gun it right in the middle of the two. Gets the attention of the truckers. Truckers remember that the West Coast truckers This is all speculation in my mind as I'm watching this, because
but it
you
makes
don't get
total
any
sense.
indication. You don't get any indication that the truckers have any emotion, because the truckers they just cut to the trucker driving, and he's just like looking in his mirror like a Terminator.
Oh,
Like
they
dead
brought the gun, the Skynet gun. Oh, now we're getting to the bottom of this.
So Brian and Rome make it in between the two trucks. Okay,
Yeah.
The Terminator truck drivers are just like dead eye, see it, and they go into like Terminator mode. So they start driving just in sync. You don't see any of them pick up walkie-talkies. Nothing. They just start driving closer to each other, staring at each other. And one of the guys who's on this challenge driving a red Mustang, just like pinball, just like bah, 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 back and forth in between the trucks. Totally. He gets stuck under the wheels of the back of one of the trailer trucks and goes under. It just totally flattens the car. The truckers don't even slow down. This is what they look like.
Flinch.
This is what they look like. They just go. They just keep going. It's so crazy. So the truckers murder, I think, like 2 cars, right? There's 2 that they destroy.
They do the one,
and then they just
for sure.
They do the one, and then there's a second one. I think a blue car.
Oh, so the other car hits the Mustang, right?
The car hits the Mustang.
So I guess the trucks did take them out, because they took out the Mustang, and the other car ran into the Mustang. I think, yes, the Corvette. The Corvette crashes into. I didn't even know there was a Corvette, but then it was a Corvette.
The Corvette wasn't in the earlier scene. I agree. It was just in the scene, but it was one of the guys auditioning. So 2 cars get destroyed by the truckers, and Brian is so consumed with driving backwards with Rome that he almost misses his exit. So he flips around, takes the exit. Rome takes the exit.
I got to tell you the line, though. The line.
What did he say?
I want to make this into a T-shirt. That's the Brian O'Connor School of Driving right there, baby.
That line was almost as long as you can go down the Fat Burger and get a burger and fries for $2.95.
Yeah.
It's like, as you're hearing it, it's just like, that was a long line.
Why you're driving backwards? That's why he almost missed his cutoff.
Because he was saying, "You're like, I gotta finish my line." And, so he makes it out of the exit. Roman makes it out of the exit.
Yeah.
There was a black BMW that was also trying to, win this contest too.
Audition, but instead,
this audition.
He decided to drive.
He doesn't even turn.
No, he just is like, hey,
going straight.
There's some barrels. I want to hit them. So he just drives right into them.
I mean, 2020, I give you an excuse because people are all on their phones.
Yes.
This guy's not on his phone.
He's not looking at his pager?
Maybe he was. Maybe he was trying to text.
Maybe he was.
And he's just like, 8, pause, 5, pause.
Did they text back then?
Pause, 4.
I don't remember.
Yeah, you had to
I remember that.
Because there's 3 letters, right?
Yes, I remember doing that.
So, that's what he was.
Was that?
Yeah. He was just trying to check on his mom who was in the hospital.
That was it. Yeah.
And he was trying to write hi.
He's like, I got
$35 for you. The problem with texting hi is that H and I are both in the same number, I think. So he's already got to go. He got to hit that number twice. Pause. And then hit the number 3 times.
Yeah.
And then if it's just like HJ, and it's like, oh man, I gotta delete. But you have to hold 0 to clear.
And by that time, straight into barrels. Every time.
He's dead. He's dead. So 3 deaths, and nobody. It's just they're forgotten. They're just out of the movie.
So they're done.
The Challenger and the Camaro drivers.
They make it through.
Show a little bit of emotion, but they make it through. And so basically now it's Brian, Roman, and Man Bun and Fonzie are the last 4. And they make it down to Little Haiti. They almost hit this guy who's just standing in the road.
Well, it's funny. It's a Rasta guy. And my video actually paused on his face as as they drove by him, and it was it was a classic look. It made me crack up. And then there's some ladies like, get out of the road. It's dangerous.
Obviously, right? Yeah, exactly. So they make it to the docks, and they're Brian's in the lead. He's trying to find the car, and it's almost all boats. And of course, Ferrari at the end of the road. Yeah. So they find the Ferrari, they get up, they get out, and another interesting note for Tyrese in this movie, I think he only has sleeves in like a few scenes in this movie. He's pretty much sleeveless the majority of this movie. So he's wearing like a unbuttoned sleeveless shirt. So he's basically talking.
Yes, but he has high metabolism, so he can do that.
He takes it off, wraps his fist, and he punches the window of this Ferrari. And Brian just opens the door because it's unlocked. And they get the stuff in the glove box, and just as they do, the customs agent and Dunn pull up, and Fonzie pull up, and Man Bun pulls up. So there's a shootout, right? and Rome pulls out a gun and starts shooting at the cops. And they escape. I'm not going back to Barstow, not for another 3 years. And so they run away. They make it. They lose the cops. Fonzie them. They run away too. And do they meet up at this point? I think
while this is happening, Carter is checking them out. He's having Monica check them out. Like, are these guys cool? Like, I guess they're running their licenses, I guess, and checking them out. And she says, "Oh, they're clean. I mean, they're dirty, but they're clean.
But they're still clean.
You know what I mean?"
Yeah. Right.
So they get back to Carter's, which interesting fact is used to belong to Sylvester Stallone, the place that they filmed.
Oh,
yeah, that was
looks like something that Sylvester Stallone would live in. Yeah, very nice.
Yeah.
So they get back, and Roman has a funny line, but they basically give Carter Verone the package, and they're just like, Roman's just like, "You guys got anything to eat over here? We hungry."
Yeah, we hungry.
And Brian's just like, "What the hell?"
Yeah.
And so Carter, being the generous host he is, says, "Oh yeah, sure. Set them up by the pool with fine china." And they're sitting there, and the chef makes them empanadas and grapes and brings it out, and Monica's eating with them and stuff. Yeah, it's pretty good. And then pretty good spread. I'm pretty hungry myself.
I'm pretty hungry.
Yeah. So Carter
comes
snacks.
Out. Side note, but we have to have snacks while we do this. I'm just gonna say that now. We need to bring candy. Our favorite movie snacks. If you're watching next time, bring your own favorite snacks. All right, let's continue.
So Carter Verone comes down with the envelope, the package that they just gave him. He opens it up, empties it out. And what is it?
It's a cigar.
What was a precious package? It was a cigar.
It was like, I assume a Cuban cigar with a cutter, and he gives him the whole speech like, you think I care about a Ferrari? You think I would let somebody impound my Ferrari? That was my lot. I own it. So we're establishing even more that he's powerful and not to be reckoned with. And so he owns the lot. Yeah. And I guess they get the job. They're like, okay, you guys are hired. You got the job.
So then they go for a walk.
Yep, they go for a walk.
And he's like telling him the whole job, right?
Yeah.
Which is what?
They're to take something. He says something from North Beach to the Keys. And so they're like $100,000 once you get there. Hand it to you myself. So we know that Carter Verone is going to be there with the money. Yeah. And so I think that's important for the cops to know anyway. But Rome is like, how about 100,000 each? And Carter's like, you're pushing it, Rome.
Like I said, we hungry.
We're hungry. Yes. And then he reaches for Carter's pockets, saying something about your pockets ain't empty or something, and ours are or something.
Your pockets ain't empty, right?
Yeah. And then so he hits his hand away, like, don't touch me. And
don't touch me. Yeah.
And they finish up their conversation, and he's like, why don't you meet me at the club tonight or whenever? I think it was that night. And they're like, okay, and they walk away. And then Carter's like, wait, give me back my cigar cutter. Give me back my cutter.
Yep.
So Rome had taken his cutter. This big, powerful dude. He's like, he pocket picked him.
Yep.
Yeah. And that's pretty much that scene, I think.
It was funny because he's telling him the plan, and then he's just like, you know what? Why don't you guys meet me at the club at midnight tonight? He's like, you know what? Why don't you just tell me the rest of the plan right now? I have an early bedtime. I got to be places in the morning.
So it's kind of late. Tej is having a party.
It's like, yeah, I'm not going to meet you somewhere at midnight. I think you kill people. So, yeah. So anyway, they go back and they talk to the feds.
Yeah.
They kind of tell them the plan, tell them the rundown, right?
Before that, though, Rome makes it known that Brian always gets in trouble over girls because he saw him checking out Monica.
Right.
So,
and it's funny because Roman and the customs agent were just like fighting with each other because she's like, why'd you shoot with us? I thought you guys were running and all of this. And Rome is all upset. He's pacing back and forth. And he looks at the table and he sees this takeout, like this burger and this drink. And he's just like, whose food is this? The customs agent's just like, that's mine. And he reaches in.
So?
Yeah, dude, that's mine. So?
He just goes. He just goes and picks up the bag, and the agent's like, "Hey, that's mine." And Rome's just like, "So?"
Dude, it's the best. That's what I'm saying.
It is.
He is like a diamond in the rough.
He is. He really makes this movie
outshines everybody else in this movie. So,
he really does.
They go talk to the criminal. They go back talk to the feds.
Yep.
Talk to the criminal. Talk to the feds. That's what they do throughout this movie.
Yeah.
But what I appreciate about Roman Reigns, the wrestler, Roman Pearce, is the lines that he has every time they leave the cops.
Mm-hmm.
He has to summarize what they just talked about for anybody in the audience who's not following. Like if you tuned out, like too long didn't read that whole Fed conversation that we just had, as they walk out, he's just like, so if we do this job, then we're dead. If we don't do this job, then we're dead. It was like, thanks, Roman. That's all I need to know. So now I know that they're screwed either way. And this is where Brian kind of like talks about an exit plan, right?
Yeah, I think before they go to the feds, don't they go to Tej's garage again? And this is where they walk back and he has an entire water park in the back of his shop.
Yes.
So we know that Brian didn't take the long way earlier because he's on a river, right? That's where Brian lives. Yeah. He lives on the river, right? But they're gambling, they're partying, and we find out that Tej is the man to know. He knows everybody. He has everything.
He's an organizer. And he's a event planner. So he's organizing a jet ski race right now, and he's collecting all this cash and stuff. And Brian asks Tej, "Oh, can he crash over here for a little bit?" Tej's like, "Yeah, okay, whatever." And Rome asks Tej, "Oh, you don't race?"
Yeah,
and it's
backstory.
Like everybody's backstory is that they went into a wall at 120 miles an hour. Toretto's dad went into a wall at 120 miles an hour. Tej went into a wall doing a buck 20. So I'm just like, okay, if we're using this math again, 35 large, a buck 20. Was he going 1 unit of 20 miles per hour, or was he going 120 miles? Yeah, dude, I was. So I was just like, either way, I was just like, that's just lazy writing. That's just, I mean, you just 120 miles an hour into a wall.
Yeah, 120.
That's why I don't race anymore. Yeah, exactly.
That's the answer for any racer in any movie. The answer that doesn't race anymore.
Exactly.
And this is also where he has Jimmy. I guess Jimmy is the new. What was the guy? Jesse. Jimmy's the new Jesse.
The new Jesse.
Yeah, so he looks under the hood of the Evo and finds out that they're wired. Like, if you rode on the windows, they'll know. Like, that's how wired they are.
Right.
And
so the other cars are wired up with GPS. That's how they found them. And Jesse Jimmy. I mean, they didn't even bother changing the letter of the name. They're just like,
they're just like,
if you like Jesse, you're gonna love Jimmy, because Jimmy is Jesse, but he can rap. So yeah.
Yep. Oh yes, and then we'll go into that. And this is where the goons are following them in the Cadillac,
right?
And then they have to lose them. So how do they lose them?
Verone's goons are across the street, and Brian just like, see that Cadillac? He's been following us since Verone's. So Rome is just like not even sly. He's not just gonna be like,
he's just like
dark. He's just like, he pops up with the most like culturally inappropriate thing that he can yell in Spanish, and he starts spraying the windshield and like wiping it, and then he lights it on fire. Yeah, he lights it on fire.
Yeah, he lights it on fire. It's gasoline,
lighter fluid or gasoline,
or whatever it is.
And the goons freak out, and they basically tell him screw off, right?
Yeah,
and that's the end of that scene. It was
and that's how they lose them so that they can go to the cops. I'm pretty sure.
Yes, that's okay. So that's the order. Yeah. Don't mind me. I just watched the movie 30 minutes ago, but like.
Yeah. No. It's
but
quite
it's all,
okay
it's all blurring together.
You know what?
They keep going to the criminal and they keep going back to the cop.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like if they were all on a Zoom meeting, they could just like.
They can just
deactivate their screen, and then you talk to Verone for a while, and then deactivate his screen, talk to the Fed.
Yeah, I think that would be a lot more streamlined that way. So they had that whole scene where they fight a little bit, and then Rome eats his sandwich, and then they come up with a plan to catch Verone. But is Monica compromised? That is the question that they're left with.
Has she gone native, as they said in the first movie when they were talking to Brian? So it's like Brian is experiencing Back to the Future 2 syndrome, where he's going back and seeing himself from a different angle and a different gender, because Dominic and Mia are in a Polaroid photo and slowly disappearing. So. Anyway, I went deep with that one. But
that was a deep one, but that's okay. Let's bring it back. The exit strategy. This is where they talk about the exit strategy.
Do they really talk about it though? They just talk about a exit strategy. We need an exit strategy.
I think we need. Yeah. So So this is they say we need an exit strategy, and then Q getting the exit strategy. I think I'm having a hard time saying exit strategy. But anyway, so the next scene is the muscle man racing scene. So they race the muscles here. They race
Man Bun and Fonzie, right?
Yes.
They need two more cars because he says for the exit strategy, we're going to need two more cars.
We're going to need two more cars. That's right. Yeah. They do talk a little bit about it then. Yes, you're right. Yeah. We're going to need two more cars. So Q, I think Tej sets up this race between the muscles, Man Bun and the Fonz. Yeah. And so Brian comes out and he's like, hey, there's no way we beat them. We're going to need a miracle. That Hemi running 400 pounds of 35 large and this other car. So they're already in the hole a little bit. So they're going to have to, they're going to need a miracle. And like,
they're going to have to cheat, basically, was what he's saying.
Much. Yeah, you're going to have to cheat. So
we organize this race, and then we're going to cheat at it to win.
Yeah. Yes. So I really like this race. Because I was like, man, those cars are fast. Those other cars, man.
Yeah. So basically, it's a relay race, and it's a tag team style. So they have to both drive to the end of this road, go around the barrel, and come back before their partner can start and finish the race for them, right? So first up, we have Rome versus Man Bun in the Challenger. So we've got the Spider Eclipse versus the Challenger, the orange Challenger. And it's my favorite car in this movie, the Challenger. So and it's funny because Rome is talking up all this smack, like, I got this, I'm going to win. And he's revving his Mosquito engine. And the sound that the Challenger makes It's just like
magic.
It's like a lion roaring. Dude, it's amazing.
Yeah,
it's amazing.
You know, watching these movies really makes me want to go buy one of these cars. I mean,
yeah.
I'm gonna have to talk to the Blockbuster sister.
I think you can find them for like 35 extra large. I don't know.
You're raising it a nickel on me. You're raising it a nickel.
Am I? I don't know.
I don't know. $1.20.
I don't know.
I could go $1.20 in that car.
To a wall. I mean, I could go $1.20.
Yeah.
You go $100 $1.20.
$100 $1.20. Yeah. But anyway, so what happens next? What happens?
So they race, and Rome. What happens? Rome.
Rome is about to.
He gets run off the road by the Challenger by Man Bun, right?
The Challenger hits a sign and sends the sign into the middle of the road, which goes right in the way of Rome, and so
because
Rome has to
is
swerve.
Catching up.
Yes,
Rome
he
shoots
uses
his nos, and he's catching up. And so Man Bun cheats by throwing the sign in the road. He runs off the road, and now Team Import is behind, right?
Yeah.
So the Camaro, the blue Camaro, Fonzie's Camaro, takes off. And I kid you not, I don't know if the sound editors did this or if this car really sounds like this, but
was there another fart?
It sounds no. 108. 108. If you haven't already,
$108.
Like $108. If you're like, I'll get to it after. No, just pause right here. Just pause. You know how to pause. Go search for it. I'm waiting for you, and then come back. Okay, so this car sounds like a TIE fighter. Like, it was crazy. I reran it, and I was like, wow.
Yeah,
it might sound like a TIE fighter in real life, or
I used it.
George Lucas used a Camaro engine for TIE fighters in the Star Wars movie. I don't know,
we have to look that one up.
Yeah, so the Camaro's in the lead, and Paul Walker Brian finally gets to go, and this time he's just like, I'm gonna have to super cheat to win this race. And what does he do? Yeah, what does he do?
He decides to go head on with the goon. Okay,
he plays chicken. He plays chicken with the Fonz.
He plays chicken with the Fonz, and the Fonz is like, okay, see what you got.
Fonz is like, but hey, he's not like, hey, he's
hey,
but
Ryan is hardcore, and he had his tuna sandwich, and he did not move. The Fonz had to move out the way, which threw him off a little bit. Gave Brian time to turn around, make the drift that around that barrel and shoot up. The Camaro, was it a Camaro? Right, Camaro.
Yeah, Camaro.
Camaro was ahead, but the Fonz was ahead. But here comes Brian, right on his tail, and does he shoot his nos to get even with him?
I don't know if he even shoots his nos. I think he's just that good of a driver.
He's just that good. Yeah. I agree.
Because they're like inching, and at the very end,
Brian pulls ahead and he wins, and so they win the cars, and they leave these guys with their girls in the middle of the road. I feel like the girls should have been like Ja Rule's girl in the first one. Be like, you didn't win, and then walk away.
Monica, exactly.
Yeah. And so they win, and they take the cars, and this is where they go to the club.
Same night. So these guys are really good with the time management. They're able to win some cars, and then immediately go into the club. And I think this is the first time that we get to see Tyrese in a sleeved shirt.
The bouncers didn't let him in with his sleeveless. That's why.
Yeah. So they go into the club. Also, by the way, this club it's so well lit.
Yes.
And like for 2003, I don't know if the cigarette laws were in effect, but there is like no smoke going on. It looks like It looks like a Saved by the Bell episode.
Yeah,
like,
it's like
when
pink
they had,
upholstery, like candles.
everything's so
like
bright and clean. You got everybody just miming, like
yeah.
dancing and talking.
Had some dude doing like the hip thrust in the corner, like yeah.
Brian and Rome are like talking at this volume. They're like a normal club. You're yelling.
This is how clubs work
into somebody's ear. Yeah, right.
And they still can't hear you.
These guys are like talking like this. And,
Brian does have the good ears. Like we find out in the first movie when he's eavesdropping from 30 feet away inside of
inside a vehicle, he can hear Mia whispering to Dom about not going on this.
So that's probably what's happening here. That's probably what it is. That's probably
So Monica, you know okay, go back to this club scene. It reminds me of like Austin Powers. It looks like an Austin Powers scene.
Exactly what it is. Yes.
It's like so colorful. There's like go-go dancers everywhere.
Yeah. That's what it should. That's the music that should have been playing.
So Monica shows up and she's flirting pretty hard with
Rome
Brian,
gets mad.
Well, I mean, which is interesting because I mean she knows she's undercover, right? So if you're undercover, you got to stick to the script, right? I mean, you're not going to do anything to make Verone mad.
To blow your cover.
Full on, like, she's full on. They're sitting at the bar. Rome is somewhere. He's walking around, and Monica is like touching Brian's shirt and like touching his bracelet and asking him about it. And cut to Rome just like standing in another part of the club, and he looks up and just like Verone is standing here like a psycho, just like staring across the bar at Brian and Monica. And
he's in the psycho.
Yeah,
he's in the Bates Motel.
Dude, he's like a straight up lunatic. Like he's standing there. He called, so they get summoned over to his private box, and they go there. Monica has a seat. Yeah, Monica has a seat, and what does he say? Verone calls Brian over, and he's just like, "She's beautiful, isn't she?"
And he's like,
and Brian just like, "Yeah, she's gorgeous." It's like, dude, what are you doing?
Yeah.
You know that he's saying this because he probably just saw you. You know that she just touched your bracelet. You should be like, what? Nope. I mean, no.
Nope.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know.
That's your girl, right? No, I wouldn't do that.
I don't see those things. I just, I'm a
drive. I drive. That's what I do.
That's all I do. That's what I'm going to do. I look at cars. That's all. Cars. She's not.
But Verone is impressed with his guts, his bravery, and he's like, okay,
he's
I like that.
With his ball size. That's what.
Yes. Exactly.
You got balls. I'll give you
that. And he's like, so he uses that. He's like, the power of a woman is amazing, isn't it? And he points out this blonde girl seducing some man, and then you see the man walk away with this blonde lady.
He says something like, give her 5 minutes of talking to him, and she can get him to do whatever she wants. Yeah. So they leave immediately, and he's like, "Oh wow,
wow, that was less than 5
minutes." This is a master class in.
That was 4 minutes
in manipulation. I didn't know. Is that what we were called here at midnight for?
I think what had happened was he called her and says, "You got 4 minutes to get here," and then so she's like, "Oh, I gotta get this guy out of here." So, and
then she drove in her Chevy Caprice government issued vehicle and fast forward across many bridges and stuff.
Yeah,
she got there in time. Yeah. So what happens next?
So they say, let's take a walk, and this guy likes to take walks, but
dude, like, we can talk here. This is your private box, right?
Yeah. You have another private box?
Maybe it's not that powerful. Maybe they're like, Mrs. Brown, we're going to need this box. We have this is also Sylvester Stallone's box. You're staying at his house. Now this is the box.
The bad boys need to film here, so you guys are going to need to vacate. So they go in this back room.
They're just like,
the bad boys come in.
Director is just like,
Will Smith comes in and be like, "Hey guys, we're going to need this."
Yeah. It's like, this is awkward, but we're gonna need this box.
But
thank you.
So they go into this. So they go into this back room, right?
Yeah.
And it's I guess it's more private booth. Into this more private booth, and the lady shows up with the dude,
The blonde-haired lady, yeah,
Yeah.
manipulated, the one that they just
And,
used as an example, right? Yeah.
Yeah. So they bring this guy in, and apparently, like right before this, the guy's like, you know who I don't trust? Cops.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay.
And then he rings a gong. It's like,
Yeah.
bring in the cop, and he brings in. They bring in the blonde-haired lady brings this guy, Detective Whitworth is his name.
Detective Whitworth. Yes.
Yeah.
And so they bring this guy in, and they lay him on this table. I don't know. He didn't do anything wrong.
So before they lay him on the table, it's just like basically Verone is saying, you know, like, how long you been on the payroll? And he's like, no, don't do this. And he's just like, he's just like, I asked you to do this one thing for me.
Yeah.
And if you can't do it, then they lay him down on the table.
Yeah.
And they open up his shirt. They're holding him down. And I'm just like, oh, what are they gonna do? It's like a James Bond torture scene. Okay. So they bust. There's a flamethrower, a torch. There's flame retardant gloves and a bucket. I'm just like, okay, what's gonna happen here?
Yeah.
I have no idea. And this movie turns into Saw for like,
it does.
The next
I'm
4
pretty
minutes.
impressed. I'm like, wow.
There's a weird turn that this took, but basically he brings out he puts the bucket on Detective Whitworth's stomach, and he says he pulls out this rat, and this rat is so huge. It's like a house cat rat.
Miami rat.
He's holding it up. It's a Miami rat, dude. This thing's hungry. So it's been eating empanadas with Monica, man. And like he picks it up and he starts giving like all of this planet Earth kind of rat information, just like, you know, a rat can chew through steel, and it's just like, wow, I didn't know Verone. Like, I mean, not only is he a master of you know, seduction, but he
also watches a lot of Nat Geo.
The rat enthusiast. So he's telling him all of these things. It's like, if I put this rat under the bucket and heat it up, it's going to try and chew its way out. There's only one way it can go, and that's down. And you're just like, oh no.
Wow.
What is going on here? And Rome and Brian are like sitting at where the detective's head is. Just like,
yeah, I was like that watching
earlier. Like,
they had me in this part. I was just like, whoa.
Yeah. So Whitworth is just like, you know, I can't do this for you, blah blah blah, and he's saying no, and Verone tells Monica to go hold his head, hold his mouth closed, so he's not making a lot of noise, and it's just, it's a weird scene. Because the rat eventually starts biting him, right? And he finally agrees, but man, Verone's kind of a psycho. Like, I think that was the point.
Yes, that's the point where we know that he is, in fact, crazy. Like, not to be trifled with. And the only thing missing from this scene is he did not ask the cop to kiss his shoes afterwards. Which,
dude, I was waiting for him to be like,
this was the oil scene.
What you think?
40
weight, 50 weight. And it would have been funny if she was like, 40 is good, and he pulls a 40-pound rat out of the bucket.
He should have been like, should it be 35 large or 45 large?
35 large should be good. 35-pound rat comes up. Oh man.
Yeah. So established, he is a bad guy. And,
he's a bad mamma jamma, and
and as they leave this place, they tell the guys to go, and as they leave, he threatens Monica that you better not touch another guy. So he knows.
He's
tipped
exactly. Off. So this is where I got a little like confused, because I'm watching the
this is the point.
movie on my iPad. where I really get confused. And I'm taking notes. And I hear this at the end of the scene. Like, he tells her this, don't ever touch another man, or I'll kill you. And the scene cuts to black. And the next scene, they're waking up. Brian's waking up on his houseboat, right? And he wakes up. And Monica's there. What?
Yeah. Wait.
Monica's soaking wet.
Yeah.
Wearing a t-shirt.
Yeah.
That might be his because it's like tied up to be like form fit.
Right.
Because that's dress code in 2003. Yes. You need to show your stomach.
I think they had two cuts. Where one was that she actually stayed over with him, and they're like, no, that's not going to work. And then they're like, I know you just came over early in the morning. I think we'll go with that one because she was dressed like she had stayed over. But
she was dressed like she had to stay over, and that's why I was just like, did I miss a scene?
Yeah, I rewound it too. I was like, wait a minute.
It's just like they had a reshoot or something where they're just like, just say that you snuck out this morning from Verone's house. I'm still confused because she's soaking wet. Which did she like SEAL Team 6 swim in the river and climb up the side of his boathouse? I
think so because we find out in a second that the goons are outside. That's why. So
they were watching his place the whole time. Right. So come back to Monica. She tells him she overheard Verone talking to somebody saying that, talking to the goons, saying that after the job is done, what's going to happen?
They're going to end Brian and Rome.
They're going
to shoot him. Yep. Probably in their faces.
So she's like, don't do the job, whatever. And Rome notices that the goons are on the dock, and they're looking in Brian's boathouse, right? Looking into the curtains and stuff. So he tells what's her name, Monica, to make like a tree and leave, right? So she hides, and Rome decides to strike up a conversation with the goons to distract them. And it's pretty funny. His conversation is pretty funny.
Yeah, he is pretty funny.
What does he say? He said, I have it in my notes.
I didn't write this one down, but the whole conversation was funny.
He looks at the goons, and the goons are just they don't have any lines so far in the movie. They're just scowling the whole time.
No. Yeah.
So he looks at the goons, and he's just like, Verone pay you money to look like that? Or what did he say?
to frown to like.
He says, where is it in my notes? He goes, Verone pay you to keep a straight face like that?
Yeah.
I get that mole removed. And he was just like, he must pay you good. I saw you guys at the club with your silk shirts and all that hamburger meat hanging out. Like,
the hamburger meat. Yep.
That's pretty funny. That's pretty funny.
Yeah, that was
So he did a good job of distracting them.
Very good.
And Brian comes out, and it becomes a classic standoff because one of the goons gets on the boat, and he starts going through, and he looks, and we were like, well, Monica's got to be in the bathroom because she's nowhere else. And the goon opens the door, and the bathroom's empty. So she obviously is like special forces. She snuck out the window, and she's in the water without making a splash. Yeah. And so she's got like a straw, and she's like passing them in the bath. But the goons come out. She's
as if she's paddling the jet ski away.
Yeah, exactly. She's got a straw, and she's blowing the back of the jet ski.
And that's how she escapes.
Right. So this next part escalates way too quickly. I don't know what happens. Like they just Brian starts yelling at the goons start yelling at Brian and Rome, and then Brian grabs one of the goons gun.
Yeah, so Brian's pointing the gun at one of the goons, and then the goon's pointing his gun at Rome,
and they're all just yelling at each other.
Yeah.
And it's funny because they're at the peak yell at each other.
Yeah.
Like you just got to shoot somebody at this point. Yeah. And then Verone appears, and you're just like, shut up.
Yeah.
It was so funny. And also at this point, I started noticing that Verone, up until this point, just never buttons his shirts. Like this guy, I don't know if it's just Miami fashion.
That's how I wore my shirts back then.
It's just the bottom button.
Yeah.
Which it makes sense now, thinking about The Rock back around that time, 2001 Rock.
Yep.
He used to wear those silk shirts, never buttoned. He went to the University of Miami.
Oh, that makes sense.
He got his fashion sense from Miami. There you go. Yep. He's used to the hamburger meat, right? Hamburger meat hanging out. And
another clue that The Rock will be in this franchise later on.
Dude, that's what it was. I think that Verone was originally supposed to be played by The Rock.
Oh, but he had a scheduling conflict with Bad Boys.
He was doing Scorpion King.
Oh, he was doing Scorpion King at the time. Yeah,
I don't know. Yeah. So at this point, Verone's just like, all right, I was just checking on you guys.
Yeah.
See you tomorrow.
Like, be there, be square.
Yeah, he's just like, see you later, nerds, and then he just like leaves. It's so funny. So it cuts back to Verone's house, and Monica's there, like sunbathing. And he's just like, "Where were you this morning?"
Yeah,
because I'm psycho. And she was just like, "Well, I went to have breakfast with some friends that were not men."
I have friends, because you had just told me not to. And I feel like Monica and Brian's relationship escalated really fast. It did. It's like no, because they went from nothing to touchy-feely in the club to kissing in his bedroom really fast.
Maybe that's why they cut that scene, because I don't know. It's just it's all happening too fast, guys. Just slow it down.
This crazy guy that just put a rat on a dude's stomach doesn't want me to touch another guy. So what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna go touch another guy.
This relationship
is
developing too fast, too furious.
Listen, we gotta stop. We gotta take it down a dime.
Take it down a nickel.
Take it down a nickel. So he suspects Monica. He's like, "You're up to something."
Yeah.
But now we're cutting back to the feds, and very different, these feds locations than the first one. Like in the first one, they're in a Malibu mansion. And in this one they're in like a
abandoned restaurants, warehouses and stuff. It's weird. But
Agent Bilkin has a dope shirt on.
He has an aloha shirt on,
with like fish on it or something.
Yeah. He's just like, it's my day off.
Yeah,
that's a good line.
I was about to go fishing.
It was a good line. But I didn't know if that random scene where Brian and Rome go and scope out the big warehouse that they're going to use for their plan. Did that happen already, or does that happen?
You know what? I didn't even catch that scene.
Yeah, there's like a random scene that Rome, like, he just filmed it in one take in an afternoon, where like Tej is showing them. They're looking down at this.
Yes. Okay. Yes.
And they're just like, "This is the perfect place for your plan."
So right after they go and talk to the feds and let them know the plan, and that they let them know that Verone is trying to kill them, and Agent Bilkin's like, "All right, let's pull him out." But then, this is where I wrote his name down. Agent Markham is the other dude.
He's
a customs agent.
Yeah,
and he's like, "No, I don't care if you're gonna die. You bring that guy to me."
he didn't even try and hiding that these two are expendable. He was just like, "I don't care."
It's like he should have at least done the.
He should have been like, "So."
Yeah, he should have been like, "So."
Eat my sandwich. That's what happens.
You never mess with a man's sandwich, and that's what happens. But so they leave. So they leave the FBI, and they're like right outside, and they're like, this isn't gonna work for me. We're gonna have to steal that money, basically.
Yeah.
This is where they decide they're gonna steal the money and run, and they already have the cars, I guess, right? So
they do.
So they call Tej up, and this is where they're like, Tej, we need your help. How fast can you organize? You know, so they take the muscle cars to Tej. Tej, I guess, hooks him up, and this is where like I'm like, he's like, I think Paul Walker or Brian, he's like, we're gonna need an extra tank of NOS, half empty year.
He's like, Jimmy, you got any half-empty NOS tanks? He was like, I juiced you up already. He was just like, just in case we have an extra load that we need to,
and
take
then
care of.
My eyes lit up because I was like, I know what they're going to do. And I was correct. We're about to find out.
Yeah. Yep.
So, yeah, I think that's where they go to that warehouse in the random scene.
So to cut back, the grand plan that they told the cops that Verone is going to do, he's going to be in an airfield. He's going to be showing up in his Lincoln Navigator. That's where you guys are going to bust him, right? So Customs has their montage of suiting up.
That was the plan. Yeah.
They go and they set up at the airfield in the grass.
Right.
There's like 30 of them. There's a lot of them, and they have eyes on the plane, and they're waiting for Verone to show up, right? Yeah. And so basically, I mean, this is a long, drawn out scene. If we're going to jump to the
before that scene, they have Rome and Brian have their little heart to heart, and we find out that Rome is like, I don't blame you, and Brian lets him know that if he could have, he didn't have any power. If he could have, he would have tried to get him off. We'd let him go or whatever. And then he's like, "Oh, is that why you let Dom go?" And you're like, he's like, "Yeah, kind of." So it was his childhood that was the real reason he let Dom go. Yeah. So we find that out, which I, hey, some backstory to that.
Yeah, no, it's good to have backstory. It was very romantic of them to be on the dock at sunset. Yeah, reminiscing about their childhood. Yeah, kind of another random scene, but it was necessary for the storyline. So
it was.
Now we cut to the mission, and basically, Verone says that he doesn't trust them. He's going to have his goons ride with them, right? So, one goon each is distributed to Brian and Rome, and
you get a goon. You get a goon.
They take their goon with them, strap them into their baby seat, and they sit next to them. And they go ahead to pick up. Where do they go?
He does say his Roman does say a line. He's like, "Are you ready?" And he's like, "Guns, murderers, crooked cops. I was made for this, bruh."
That was in the trailer. And I bet you that's the line that we were just like,
yes,
I'm gonna like this movie.
Yep, I'm gonna let this movie slide this one time because of that line. Is that exactly that exact line I was talking about earlier? But yeah, so
that was the "I live my life a quarter mile at a time" line for this movie. Yes, that's what it was. Yeah.
So they go to this trailer park. I think that's the next scene.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And this is where we see Whitworth, Detective Whitworth, who finally agreed. Under threat of rat bites and his family rat bites, he's on the phone nervous, and he's looking up at pictures of his wife and daughter. He's just like, I don't want them to get eaten by rats. So he has his team of undercover agents. One is set up at the trailer park that Brian and them are going to pick up the money. And they show up, the goons get out with sledgehammers, and the undercover agent's watching from across from her trailer, and she's calling Whitworth. And Whitworth's just like, just hold your position. And he's internally torn all of a sudden, being a crooked cop. He has a heart.
The blonde wasn't there anymore.
Yeah, the blonde wasn't there. So the goons go, they break down the walls in the trailer to grab all the cash. They put them in duffel bags, load up the car. They dig out. The cops show up. And there's like 1,000 cop cars. Cop helicopter is chasing them. Lead them on this big chase all through town. Bilkins is listening in. He has his own helicopter surveillance. Customs agents are in place waiting for Verone because they're supposed to intercept the cash. Verone, arrest him at that point. So they lead him on this chase. we don't need to get into the details of the chase, but basically, when it seems like they're cornered, they drive into this warehouse with sliding doors. Rome and Brian drive their cars in. The doors close. Cops surround the building, and the sliding doors open up, and all these Dodge Ram trucks, the fart trucks, they all come rolling out with bully bars on the front of their trucks, and they start ramming the cops, killing some people. I'm sure. No doubt. The way
they are part of the truckers.
They were truckers. Dude, I feel like there's like a conspiracy, like an underlying, foundation story here about the truckers. But anyway, the big rig truckers that are now just pickup truckers take out the cops, and the sliding doors all go up again, and like 1,000 import tuner race cars speed out in every direction like a swarm. They scatter, and that allows a diversion. Wait, guess who's back, for Brian for the Lancer. We got Slapjack back.
Slapjack is back. Orange Julius is back with the lines. Back.
With the lines, yes. I don't know what
Orange Julius is like. It's a scramble. It's a scramble, baby. A big one.
Oh man! Thank you, Captain Obvious, Orange Julius. There are a lot of cars here. We are driving fast. Should have been another line that he said. So they scramble, according to Orange Julius, and you see the yellow Lancer and the Spider, Roman's car, drive out, and a couple cop cars are onto them. So they follow them. The helicopter's following them. They lead them out, and they get stuck at the pier next to the water. They're surrounded. Open the doors, and they're like, "We got them." But who steps out?
Tej and Suki.
Tej and Suki.
They did the old bait and switch.
Old bait and switch. So where's Brian and Rome? Brian and Rome are driving muscle cars now. They're driving the Challenger and the Camaro with the goons in tow. Yeah. So they're driving. They got away with it. They lost their tail, right? And they're on their way to meet Verone. Yeah. So customs agent decides to get a little nuts. And before this, I want to bring something to your attention if you didn't notice. Yeah. So Rome and Brian don't use cell phones in this movie at all. At all. For this mission, they have a black walkie-talkie that they're talking in.
Yeah.
And they're talking to each other side by side. We're going to do this. Okay, you ready? Yeah. And Rome is talking about, like, he's getting ready to use his that button, the switch. Anyway, Brian is on the walkie-talkie talking to Rome. Cut to Tej on his flip phone talking to Brian saying, "You owe us." And Suki's just like, "You owe us," because they're getting arrested by the cops.
I did not catch that.
It cuts. So Tej is talking to Brian. Follow me here. Tej is talking to Brian on the flip phone. Yeah. Cut back to Brian responding to Tej on a walkie-talkie.
On the walkie-talkie. No way. I did not realize that. That is awesome.
Thanks, Tej, so much. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
that was
this
a good
movie
catch.
Makes no sense. Remember the black walkie-talkies, because it comes back. It comes back even dumber. Okay? So is this the part where the button's pushed by Rome?
Yes, right? This is the part. Yep.
Yeah. So
they're flying down the bridge, or like there's water on the side of them.
The road, yeah. And Rome is looking at the goon, and he's just like, "We're friends now. You having fun? You having a good time?" It's a fast car. It's a really fast car. And as the goon, I mean, if I was the goon, I'd have my gun on my weapon already. This guy's, what's this guy doing, right? So
it wasn't obvious at all.
Rome lifts up this cord that's attached to this clicker. The most obvious thing ever that's not attached to the car. Like, it's not part of the car. It's just like, he presses the button and the door flies off. And he presses the button again, and the passenger seat throws the goon out of the car.
He shoots him out of the side of the car.
Rome yells out, "Ejecto-cito!" and then he gets on the walkie-talkie. He gets on the walkie-talkie to Brian, which Brian has to have the volume up. And he's just like, "Brian, it worked. Now it's your turn." At this point, the other goon is already
goon number 2 should be
right. Just right? Just but he's not.
Yeah, he's not
So
cute at all.
So Brian also, while he's driving and the goon is in the passenger seat, raises the button eye level with the goon, and the goon looks at him and the button and says, "Go to this address. Go to Tarquin Point." And Brian's just like,
lowering it down.
"I thought we were going to the airfield." And the goon's just like, "Who said anything about an airfield?" Same moment, customs agent gets impatient and he decides to take Verone.
Yeah.
So he storms the airfield, and he opens up the navigator.
He's not there. Yeah, we find out that
Cue the Price is Right fail music, right?
Yeah.
So so cuts back to Brian, and Rome is still on his way to the airfield, right? Because he doesn't know that Brian has a new address he has to go to. So Brian goes to Tarquin Point, and he's on his own now.
Yeah.
And Rome is like, "Where you at?" And he says, "Oh, there's a new plan." And he kept saying, "There's a new plan." Like he should have said, "Wink," into the walkie-talkie. Because I mean, from the switch, and lowering it down, new plan, wink. It should have been. I mean, it might as well. So
maybe the goon thought that the button was for a camera. He's taking a photo of them while they're driving.
He was taking an old timey photo. The one with the gunpowder, the light goes up. Yeah. 2003. Those were the kind of selfies that you had to use. It's like, kids, if you're watching this,
here's your history lesson.
Take pictures in 2003.
Yeah.
So he gets to Tarquin Point, and there's this like super yacht out there, and Verone comes out with Monica, right? And kudos to Verone. He's wearing like a silk pajama shirt and like white silk pants, like chinos. This guy's just walking around outside like that.
Yeah.
Like single button, only the bottom, and like he's conducting business like this. Okay, like I mean. People don't even dress like this on quarantine. Like this guy is living it casual. So he walks up, he sees Brian, he sees Monica, and he basically says, "You know what I find interesting is that I only told one person about the airfield."
Yeah.
And he looks at Monica. Monica's just like, "Oh man, I
Who is it?
did it now. I done did it now. That time that I was edited out of An Evening with Brian. I shouldn't have done it because it was edited out anyway." So she knows she's in trouble. And Verone pulled a shotgun, right? And
get a shotgun on her and like get in the boat.
Right. He tells him to get on the boat. And does he take the money at that point?
They take. Yes, he takes the money with him on the boat, then he tells his goon to take Brian and kill him, finish him off. Right.
So here's okay. So Brian, he loads up his goon, and they go drive. They drive around the corner from where the yacht is, and they're the goon's getting ready, and he was just like, "I'm sorry, I liked you too," and what does he say? Let me check my notes. This is the funniest thing. He says, not what Roman says. Hold on. He says,
"Oh, okay."
What does he say?
It's the Barstow baby? Not that one?
Oh, yeah. No, yeah. So he's about to shoot Brian in the car, and Brian like raises up the ejector seat button. and the goon like eye level, and the goon is just like, "What's that?" Okay, mind you, Brian only has one hand. He has one hand on the wheel and one hand on the ejector button. And the goon says, "What's that?" Rome yells into the walkie-talkie that's in between them, "It's Barstow, baby!" So he answers the goon. who asked the question with a walkie-talkie that was not being pressed. Through a walkie-talkie. Here it is. Are you ready?
Yeah.
The camera pans down to the walkie-talkie when he says it's Barstow, baby. And it's a yellow walkie-talkie now. It's not even the same
walkie-talkie. The old bait and switch.
The black walkie-talkie's in a Challenger driving down the highway right now.
With all the money.
With all the money. Oh, man. I was just like, all right. This movie's almost over. So, my phone is at 10%. So, I don't know if I went black. Okay. All right. I'm living dangerously. So,
yes, I gotta
get my
Let's wrap this up. Let's go this. Let's do this thing.
So,
So what goes that? Okay, so
Roman comes. He T-bones him. Yeah, the car.
Hits the car, jumps out. They start fighting. Both of them start fighting their goons, and then Rome beats his guy up, comes over, helps Brian beat the other guy up. They're like stomping him too, and this guy won't go down. He's stomping him, and he won't go down. He finally goes down, and then they jump in their car and they head after the boat, and this is where it pretty much wraps up. They're ripping it alongside the boat.
The boat is leaving.
What happens?
The boat is leaving, and Brian's just like, my woman's on that boat. So he decides to try to go back to the future, and he drives 120 miles an hour. And Rome is just like, "What are you doing?"
Yeah.
And he's
like, boat car. What are you gonna do?
Yeah. So again, Rome is assisting the audience. If you don't know what's going on through Brian's mind, he's just like, audience, boat, car, and then, so Brian decides to jump the car over the water.
Yeah.
And I guess it harkens back to the beginning, right?
Yeah, that's true.
When he jumped the bridge.
Full circle.
And this car is so fast, it doesn't need NOS because American muscle.
Right.
And this car lands perfectly
right
on the
boat. Center of the boat. Yep.
Also, everybody should have died. The passengers in the car, the boat. The car should have gone through the boat.
Yeah, Monica with her straw underneath the water should have died.
Yeah. So basically, it lands nose first, or no, it lands like butt first.
Yeah, it's perfectly in there.
And Verone walks up on the hood.
Yes,
and he's got a shotgun, and he's gonna kill him. But what happens?
But so Rome breaks his arm, so he's like, "Here, take the gun, Brian." And Brian picks it up in an anticlimactic ending as this dude comes over. Verone comes over the top with his shotgun with a lot of time to shoot Brian. Doesn't. And Brian lifts up the gun and shoots him. He goes down. His shotgun goes down. Monica comes out.
Slowest shot
straw in her mouth. And
she's like,
grabs the shotgun. I don't need the straw anymore. She grabs the shotgun, and they pretty much caught Verone. Cut to the next scene. They're with the FBI, big crime scene. They don't try and run because both of their cars are broken. But they have the whole wrap up with, "Hey, we got the bad guys. You guys are clear. Your names are clear. So we got a car out waiting for you. But are you sure there's only 3 bags?" And I guess Rome gets a conscience and like, "I'll be right back." He disappears and comes back with 3 extra bags. He's like, "No, there's 6." So they're like,
"Now we're even." Yeah,
we're even. And so they're walking away, and then then Paul Walker or Brian leans in to Rome and says, "Pockets ain't empty, cuz." Apparently, he turns into Ice Cube in this movie.
Yeah,
he says "cuz" like 3 times, like "cuz."
Yep.
And then Roman's like, he lifts up his shirt. He has a shirt on this time. He had to button it up this time.
He does. Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Just for this scene,
they should have known.
It would have more effect. Yeah.
Yeah. They should have known that he had money because his shirt was buttoned.
If Rome's shirt is buttoned, he's hiding something, guys.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But he says, he lifts up his shirt and he's like, "And we ain't hungry no more, bruh."
And they talk about opening their own garage, right?
Yeah, they talk about opening their own garage
Right.
in Miami and stuff like that. Yeah, and that is pretty much the end of the movie.
Well, when Monica is leaving,
oh right,
she gives him the creep look again. Like she's walking away with Wilkins, and then like she goes.
And
then
then that's when they decide that he's gonna stay in Miami. That Rome's gonna stay in Miami. Yeah, and then that their pockets aren't gonna be empty and they're not gonna be hungry anymore, bruh. Yeah, and that's what it is, bruh. And that is pretty much the end. The credits roll, and that was it.
Survived.
So we survived the movie, and so did Brian. So did Rome. They survived. So, what are your final thoughts about this movie? And let's give it a Shaka score.
Final thoughts. Okay, better or worse than the first one? I feel like there was more stuff going on in the second one. I think Tyrese kind of held his own. He was funny. He had some good one-liners, and he held all the one-liners. He made up for the one-liners that were all in the first one. And I don't know. I think it might be a better movie. I don't know. It has a different feel from the first movie.
It's a different feel. I definitely have to consider that Dom was not in there. That Vin Diesel was not in there. I have to consider that. I think what it comes down to, because it's obvious that the acting isn't the best. The storyline is what it is because it is called Too Fast, Too Furious. It comes down, would I watch this again? And maybe
you answer first.
I think I would watch clips of this on YouTube. Maybe if I want to look back and laugh a little bit, but I don't think I would watch.
Definitely check out minute 108.
I would do that once a year. I
can't do it.
Yeah, I wouldn't be able to do it.
I can't do it again.
Yeah.
I mean,
so
I can't. It was rough. After I finished watching it, I was just like, why am I doing this?
Man. This one was harder to get through than the
friendship with
first one.
Kalani means so much that I watched this movie.
Yes, and I am glad we're done with it. And if you don't know, we have a Shaka system. It's called the Shaka scoring system for reviewing movies. And you can give a 2 Shaka, 1 Shaka, a thumbs up, a thumbs down, or a fist. I'm gonna have to give it a because I think I'm being nice here, but because of should we do it on 3?
Yeah. Okay. 1.
But because of Tyrese, I'm gonna up a level.
Wait.
But
okay. Oh, you're going up a level from what you? Okay. 1, 2, 3.
I think we're in agreement.
Okay.
Give a thumbs up. I give it right down the center.
Thumbs up.
And these are early movies, so future movies might have to be. Well, this one is better than than Too Fast, Too Furious.
A thumbs up movie can be playing in the background while you wash dishes.
Yeah.
Or you could be in the bathroom in another room, and it's playing in the living room.
It could be on TNT, and you can change the channel after it goes to commercial.
Right. Yeah. Absolutely.
And not worry about going back to this movie.
I agree with that assessment.
Yeah.
Thumb up, not even thumbs up.
Thumbs up. It's just a thumb up. Yeah. If you want to see our full scale, then check out our IG at Blockbuster Braddahs. It is posted there. And that's pretty much it for this episode. Up next, we are watching Fast and Furious. That's the next one in the timeline.
So it's not 3 Fast, 3 Furious?
It's not 3 Fast, 3 Furious.
Okay.
It is 35 Large Fast and a nickel.
Hey,
Furious.
if anybody watching knows what that dollar amount is, just throw it in the comments.
We're gonna need to know that.
Or send us a message on IG. Like,
yeah, let us know.
I need some kind of scale to work off of.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to go to the bank and be like, I'd like 35 large, and they're like, you don't have 35 large, because that could apply to $35 or $3,500.
Either way, I don't have it. But
they're like,
okay,
we can give you 35 small.
So as we wrap this up, 35 Fast and Furious, made in 2009. Brian and Dom are back together in LA, working for the FBI to bring down a heroin importer. That's going to be.
Well, I don't need to watch it now. I know what it's about.
That's pretty much what it is. Spoiler alert.
Hey, I haven't seen it since 2009. Cool.
Yeah. Well, 2009. So this is chronological now. So thank you very much for watching. And check us out on Instagram. Check out blockbusterbraddahs.com, and we'll see you in the next episode.
Shoots. See you later, guys. Thanks
Aloha.
for watching. Aloha.
All right. Okay.
Oh, man. That was fun.